Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Wednesday, June the 22nd. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get in. It is a free room. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas. You can sign in as a guest. I share my screen all day long, and I'm live on the mic between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you'd like to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, this is the link you can use. You click on this link, and you will see a promo code which will give you instant savings off our various subscription plans. All right, kind of a strange day for me anyway. Highlighted really by what happened with IBB. Let me just put IBB, which is if you don't know what IBB is, it's the, excuse me, it's the ETF for the biotech sector. Look what happened. I haven't seen a bar like that. That's a 15-minute, but even if you go to a 5-minute, I think it's pretty dramatic. Yeah, look at even on a 5-minute. Even I went to a 1-minute. I bet you it's almost as dramatic. And I guess some kind of a ruling today which was very favorable to health care stocks. And I mean, this is a jump from 253 up to 260, about a seven point jump in a very short piece of time. And you don't see that very often. And the problem is that Holly had a bunch of trades today, and these are all except for this REG, not a bunch of trades. Holly's very quiet right now, a very quiet time in the market. And remember, what Holly is trying to do is with the 40 strategies that we have, we're optimizing them every day, and the only ones that making the cut have to have a win percentage of at least 60% and a profit factor of 2. And there were only 4 strategies that made the cut today. And these ones, except for REG, but these were all some bios. And what Holly was trying to do was to capture a reversal. And if you got in right at the very beginning, I think Holly at the was looking at this and thinking, okay, eventually these biotechs are going to reverse. And the problem is that you could have got stopped out if you got in because IBB kept moving up. However, something like Seattle Genetics, which I was in for a bit, I actually unfortunately took a loss in it, but the profit was 25 cents, but the non-exit profit, and it is still kind of working, is $1.35. So in other words, from when, when Holly took profit, it actually tacked on another $1.35. If we take a look at Seattle Genetics, CSGEN, and I got into it, see, at 39.71, right about here. And yeah, I got into it right there, and the problem is that it was so tied to IBB at that time that it IBB took a pop, and so did Seattle Genetics, and I just decided I just didn't want to get into a sector that was so beholden to the ETF that day, and Seattle Genetics, and a lot of them were. Now, as it turned out, I obviously should have kept in it because it moved back down very smartly after that, but I typically try to find stocks that are trading on their own, not so tied to the sector, so you don't have to worry all the time of, well, what is the sector doing? I mean, it just it can make it a lot easier. So in other words, getting to a stock that has earnings or has news specific to that stock, kind of trading as an alpha stock. But I could say to myself, I basically outsmarted myself because perhaps Holly knew that eventually IBB and all the ones would fall. But anyway, it turned out if anybody did hold on to this, it turned out to be just a tremendous trade from Holly. Now, I am something I did yesterday. Still in this one, IMMR. I closed down the room at about 3:15, but I'd said to the room that if this one can hold in this area towards the end of the day, I probably would take a look at it as a swing trade. And so I actually took the trade at 7:16, and I traded some out at 7. What was it? What did I get out at 7:40? Still have some, obviously with, it is drifting down now. If it got back down to 716, I'll probably get out. But it turned out to be not a bad swing trade. Well, swing. It turned out to be maybe, in terms of time, maybe a 3 hour trade because last hour of the day and maybe in the first couple hours actually was less than that because I got out right here. So it wasn't that long a trade, but I did hold it overnight, which is unusual for me. But again, I go back to the daily chart and, this is what I liked about it, obviously. We have this downtrend here, took all this out yesterday, all this downtrend, took it all out yesterday, and still has a nice little void up to about $8. So on a percentage basis, that's why I ended up taking that trade. I think I'm going to wrap it up. The only other one I really want to talk about is, let's see, is C, and another one I kind of outsmarted myself on. One of the features that we've got, I'm going to click on, here we go, the RBI 5s. Red bar ignored. We have it for the 5-minute, 15, and 30-minute time frames. And, I looked at this one, and this is what it's finding. It's pattern recognition. And when I looked at this one, first of all, what happened for the pattern to be recognized, and this is the pattern: green candle, a red candle, and then a green candle. But before that gets recognized, we have to have 4 previous green candles. So it recognizes pattern, and this red candle has to be totally engulfed by this green candle ahead of it. So the trigger is if this candle starts turning green, this one, the trigger is right here at 2438. You see 2438 as this green can at the high of that red candle. Now I watched this, but understand that the SPY also was taking a big downturn. I think at this point, I believe that the polling results for Brexit, whether or not the Brits leave the European Union or not, came out, and it's so darn close. So probably what I should do is just show you what the SPY was doing at that time too. And this is what happened when the polling numbers came out that it's so close to call. This is what happened. So I was a little reluctant, and SPY has been basically a steady decline for the balance of the day. So I was a little bit reluctant to get into anything long, and I watched this one, and I think the room and I were watching this one, and it just wasn't doing anything at all. And it was sitting here at 2438, 2439, bid ask. It really didn't do anything at all. Now, I didn't post it, but I did actually ended up taking a little bit of a scalp on this for about 7 cents. But this really turned out to be a pretty nice trade. If I had taken it right here at the 2438, put a stop in. I mean, your stop is very, very tight. Basically, you can put your stop in at the bottom of the red candle, of that candle. So you got in at, say, 2430, or sorry, 2440, and put a stop at 2434. Look what it did afterwards. A 5-minute chart, it was really, even though SPY was dropping and doing everything, it was running counter to the SPY. And I think it wasn't an earnings SPY. I don't even know why it was going up, but it hit a high, 2471, which doesn't sound like a lot from 40. It's 30 cents, but remembering what the rest of the SPY was doing, and market was chopping up and down, and this turned out to be a really nice trade. Again, I only took a 7-cent scalp out of it, but and now since then, and this can happen. All this hard work, all these, these are a 5-minute chart, a candle. So all this work, you're basically erased in 10 minutes, and that's what can happen. So anyway, it was a tough day. It was I found a very, very choppy day. I remember I waited on KBH forever. I did take this trade. This was an earnings play. Waited forever for it to break over 15 with any sort of exuberance. Ended up taking the trade at 1507, and I got out at 1512 and 1507. It just didn't really do anything. I liked it because it was an earnings play, and I think even if I look at the daily, yeah, I mean the daily wasn't too bad. Actually, I guess if I really examine it, it wasn't the greatest of the daily. But what what really what I liked about it was the fact that it was an earnings play. There are very few earnings plays right now. And KBH is a home builder, and so it has some name recognition. And I thought, well, the fact that it was up and breaking over the whole number, I thought maybe that it could continue, and it just didn't have it in it. All right, that's really it. I'm going to go back to the room. Again, nothing really spectacular for today. I'm going to close these down, bring my RBI out, put it back where it belongs. And again, here's how to get into the room. This is the address. I usually open the room at about 8:45. I start sharing my screen at 8:45. And again, you don't have to be a guest, or you don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas. You can just come in as a guest. And yes, it's free. Unbelievably, I know. I talked about this yesterday. We run this trading room for free 5 days a week from 9 to 4. I'm live on the mic. And we also have the 4 webinars a week. So we really try to help support anybody who is in Trade Ideas, who has our program. We really, really relish the idea of supporting people and not just, you buy the program and then try to figure it out completely on your own. So just keep that in mind. If you do take the program, you always have the room, and we have the 4 webinars a week that really try to help you succeed by using Trade Ideas. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and hope to see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.